A warrant is out for the arrest of the user Metaverse individual after allegations unfold.
Oh shit. I need to get the hell out of here. Oh god. Where the hell do I go?
Today I'll be discussing a topic that I've been wanting to talk about for a while now, and I haven't really had the time until now to be able to make this. So if you can, please support this video and try to share it so people are kind of aware of what's happening. And let's begin. In this story of what I'm going to mention, there's going to be two people I want to primarily focus on. And that, of course, is Metaverse and Cazys. Now, both of them are a huge part of this story, but Cazys plays a very important role in its exposal. And I want you to keep that in mind when I mention him later. I'm going to split this video up in 3 topics. Topic 1 is the ban, topic 2, the basic story, and topic 3 is the end. I'm going to start with topic 1. If you knew Metaverse, you probably knew him as some sort of chill guy, somebody who's kind of just there to be there, you know. That was until the day of his ban. The reason he was banned was because the user Minor the Miner replied to a post talking about something, mentioning Meta, and eventually it kind of escalated from there, leading to Metaverse's ban. Now, some people don't really know the reason why he was banned. Some people don't even know who he was, or why, the evidence he got banned for. And that is what I'm going to explain here. After the ban, they tried to do a lot of stuff, and mainly the most important thing was Metaverse released an apology video. Now, many people commented on the video because either they weren't aware of this, they put support messages and stuff, until it was actually revealed a little while later that the video was forced by the user Cazys to be made. Now, this is very important because I'm going to mention to you, Cazys is banned from the game. In the first place, this image surfaced and showed that he's going to construct an apology or make him. Now, the script for the video may have not been made by him, but it was pushed out or kind of forced by Cazys, and that just goes to show he was desperate. Now, a little while after this, when the video released, there was support comments, until eventually I told them and showed them the evidence, and they found Metaverse to be kind of a freak. Now, let's talk about topic 2, the story. And this is the longest topic. There's a lot of stuff I would want to mention in topic 2, but I'm kind of gonna go ahead and skip over the few months part where nothing really happened to be directed towards Metaverse, and we're gonna skip from last August to February. The first thing that happened was we created a game called Guess the PM606. Now, some of you have probably played this game before, but it's kind of self-explanatory what the game was. You guess the PM606 characters like any other classic Roblox game. Now, a few months after the game was created, when it was doing good, Felix joined in on the project. If you don't know Felix, he's kind of a guy active on the wiki a lot. He's going to be a lot more important later. So, Metaverse and Felix created this kind of base plate in the sky that I knew about. I didn't care much about it. Felix created these fan art of Isis Boy, which Isis Boy is another guy. He kind of left the PM community a while back, but he's still kind of involved in it. Now, he created fan art for Isis Boy because Isis Boy gave him permission, and that is very important to note, permission. Now, up there in that little base plate of where they were creating these, my bad, Felix was creating these arts, Meta actually started creating pornography of Cazys Felix Isis Boy and his fan-made character Cazys Stinks. Now, this was kind of weird. Honestly, I just ignored it. Felix took this in, kind of like to be used later type thing. Um, but Metaverse created this, and this wasn't the only time he did. Later, the character he made, Cazys Stinks, I made a YouTube series about him, which was kind of a joke, boring thing I made. But in the studio place where I actually created the series, Metaverse went into a house and created Cazys Stinks and Cazys, basically having you know what in there. I took a screenshot of this and deleted it a little shortly after because it was extremely weird. But the next topic is where I'm going. A little while later, about a month or two after all of this took place, there was the first exposal video come out. And this video primarily focused on the death threats that he said. It wasn't really as much as we're going over in this video, but there was stuff that happened in the past, and I did mention some of it. But the death threat video is outdated, if you don't know already. The part 2 I'm making here, it's discussing more. So after this video was released, Meta and Cazys tried to make me say the video was satire. They made me do things like private the video, and they got really, or Meta did, Meta got really scared when I threatened to post it in PM court publicly. Now, already around this time, I guess February, Meta and Felix were friends in the past. And Felix and Cazys are in a really big beef now, over kind of one thing that was mostly started by Meta. So, Felix, about 2 months after Cazys was banned from PM606 in January, created an exposed doc against Cazys, revealing all of the stuff he said in the past and present. And this wasn't originally kind of intended to be public until he gave Meta it and told Meta to kind of keep it private. Meta told him he would, and later Felix noticed that there were multiple accounts on the document, and he questioned Meta about this, and Meta told him that there were just multiple Gmails that he had on there. But later, Felix goes to find out that it was actually Metaverse. He had leaked it to the group chat I was in. He leaked the document to everybody for them to see. Felix was mad about this, and after Cazys read it, they started beefing a lot over some really, like stuff that I'm not really going to go over right now. This video is primarily focused on Meta. Now, going on to the next topic I want to mention, let me go ahead and pull it up right quick. Let's see, the suicide jokes. Now, this happened a few months later after the exposed video. The suicide jokes were kind of a joke started where at like 3 a.m. he would go and start saying he was going to kill himself and all of that other stuff. I kind of found it really uncomfortable, and eventually he started like making it into some sort of type joke thing. And you'd probably ask me how I can tell if it's a joke or not, and that is because he mentioned multiple times about this factor, and he said, my 3 a.m. mark is coming again, or whatever. You kind of get that. Now, Meta, the next thing, this happened around the same time, was the rape threats. And Cazys ties into this because the rape threats in my DM were mostly tied towards Cazys. Now, most of these I have, and I was extremely lucky to have these because Metaverse actually would send them in my DMs and delete them every night. Now, you'd wonder how I would get these if they were deleted, and that's because my phone would keep them in notifications and I would be able to screenshot them. Now, I would post these in the group chat with Cazys, and Cazys would oftentimes call these faked. Yet, anytime Metaverse posts something of me, Cazys would always identify it as real, and I kind of got suspicious of this. So, when he kept doing this, I confronted Cazys as many times as I could about this, and he did absolutely nothing about this. Going into the summer months, this is where summer about ends. We get into a massive argument over Meta blocking me for absolutely no reason. And this happens many, 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 many times before this. It's always the same stupid joke that Meta takes. So, we're in VC Gaming, which is the group chat Cazys made. Or actually did make, but who really cares? I don't care about it. Basically, Metaverse and me got into a lot of arguments, and Cazys would specifically keep Meta in the group chats and defend him. When 99% of the time, those arguments were started by Metaverse and continued by him. Mentioning one time, he literally said that he doesn't care about pissing me off and that he wants to continue doing it, which it's going to be shown here, but Metaverse was doing this on purpose. And oftentimes, Cazys and me would get into arguments about this because, first of all, Metaverse wouldn't stand up for anything he did. He wouldn't at least even try to deny the evidence. He would literally just make Cazys defend him. And I got very mad over this because it's kind of just dumb to have someone else make up, excuses for you that you can't even clarify yourself because you're not saying it. So, honestly, this is kind of weird, and I noticed that he was defending Metaverse for kind of no reason at all. Until one day, this happened again, and it was kind of my last straw. So I talked to Felix about Meta, and turns out, Felix had the same problems I did. Meta was annoying and mature. He never really took anything seriously. He did all of the topics I mentioned. He made porn. He said suicide threats. He made rape threats and suicide jokes and claimed every single one, oh, it's just a joke. It's not that big a deal. Well, yeah, I make a bomb threat. It's just a joke. Yeah, that's kind of a joke, yeah. So me and Felix started talking about this situation, and we come to an agreement where we were kind of gonna monitor Meta, and it was mostly my idea, but I wanted Metaverse banned from the game. Now, I could have done it any time because of the evidence we already had, but Felix kind of implied to me that would be a good idea to not do it then, and me and Felix, we kind of wanted to let someone else push it out, and that was led by Miner, like I mentioned earlier. Miner was kind of the one who started this after he started getting questioned about these types of things. Now, after the ban, which we're going on to topic 3 now, the end, I was added back to VC Gaming, and Metaverse acted quite nice. Honestly, you say you get banned from your favorite game, you're going to be kind of mad. Well, he was quite nice. Around this time, a kind of quoted message from me was made, and I noticed that the grammar on this message was kind of similar to someone I knew, and that was Cazys. If you don't know, Cazys has a different heritage than us, so his typing is very, very, very noticeable. And this happened with Metaverse too. Metaverse mentioned this multiple times to me, involving the wiki, which I'm going to go back to this later. But I confronted Cazys about this, about the typing on the quote, and it sounded similar, after he blamed another person to me after I asked him previously. I asked him why his writing was on it, or why it was very much sounding like him. He denied it the whole time before kicking me out on a suicide threat, which he claimed multiple times to stop, and he didn't. Now, going on to Cazys, mostly Cazys parts, this is where Meta ties in. The wiki and Cazys are bonded together so much that he could literally be held at gunpoint and wouldn't quit the wiki. I'm not even joking about this too. It happens so much that I just don't know. Cazys created, I guess, more than 30 vandal accounts on the wiki, trying to either harass people, trying to be a normal person, trying to pretend to be somebody else, or anything else. And how Meta ties to this is Metaverse was actually the one supporting him through this. Now, one day, how I found out about this was Meta brought up to me. He said, these accounts on the wiki talk about a lot like Cazys. And so we started talking about this and we come to an agreement. Until we were agreeing for a long time until one day Metaverse started saying, "Oh yeah, I never said that. I never said they talk like that." I knew this was extremely suspicious, and my best guess to what they were doing is Casey told him to say that he was joking to kind of get me and Felix off of him. Now, no matter how many times Casey's got on the wiki, Meta's helped him every single time, rather deleting his old account messages, which is kind of stoked on the exposal doc Felix made. The end ties to all of this video being released. How many times they have tried to expose PM Court, or Cazys and Meta have. Cazys has created multiple group chats, multiple documents. Every single time, he hasn't gotten a single thing done. He was even caught in a server with sexualized channels that was raided by PM Cord. Meta and him were in that. This was before the ban, though. Now, Meta was involved with Cazys and these things since February. I mean, it's been a long time. I'm pretty sure Cazys' plan to, I guess, delete PM606 was started in March, but it was kind of started a little bit before that when he tried to expose the owner of pedophilia. Now, Metaverse is in the middle of all this because, like I mentioned before, he's helping Cazys do stuff like deleting his posts. And Meta sent a DM to me the other day, and this DM was kind of him saying that he wants me to leave them alone. And I wanted to make sure of this, so I created, or I didn't really create necessarily, but I just kind of made this account on the wiki. I went on and rage baited Cazys with some message. You probably saw it the other day, but turns out Cazys saw it in under 15 minutes of me posting it. Yeah, he's been banned. We started a rumor that Cazys checks the wiki every hour of the day, which I kind of took as a joke, but I kind of actually believe it now, and so does Meta. Meta's still active on the wiki. I don't really care about him. He's gonna get banned soon anyways, so who cares? Just waiting.